Hello and welcome back to the allotment plot. It is the 5th of September and it's such a beautiful day. The sky is so blue, the sun is shining. It's the most perfect early autumn day. I am so happy. I've just been sat on the patio. The sun is low enough in the sky now that the sweet pea trellis is actually doing the job of shading the patio, which is what I initially put it there for. So I can actually sit on the patio in some shade and just enjoy being on the plot and just looking at everything and taking it all in. And it's just lovely. It's so lovely. There are so many bees today. I was just sat on the patio and there's just heaps of bees behind me buzzing on the nasturtiums. So everyone seems to be enjoying this glorious weather today. The tomatoes have been real stars of the plot. They've managed with a weekly watering and a bi-weekly feed, and they've just worked so well in this weather we've had, and it's been really interesting to see the difference in the tub and the ones in the ground. The tub tomatoes have quite a big inconsistency amongst all the fruits. There's some really big ones and some very tiny ones, so they get very inconsistent watering. They don't hold the moisture as much, but the ones in the ground obviously have a much better root system established. They've got access to water even when it's not raining or I'm not there to water them, and the fruits are just so much more consistent in size. As we have been having a few rainstorms now, I am getting a few split skins on the fruits. It's just because there's so much water falling in such a short space of time. But there's still plenty of fruits that are very viable and so delicious, and there's just heaps of them. I just cannot get over how many tomatoes I've managed to harvest from this little patch this year. Every time I go to the plot I have a basket laden of tomatoes and they just don't seem to be slowing down whatsoever. What is slowing down, however, are the courgettes, which is devastating because I have thoroughly enjoyed having regular courgettes harvested and then roasted for dinner. With the nights getting cooler and the days getting shorter, I think these possibly might be some of the last decent courgettes I'll be harvesting, but I'll be keeping the plants going a little bit longer just in case. I really need to get the remaining strawberries out of the ground and into the second bed. So now that it is cooler and it's raining a little bit more, it seems like a good time to get those strawberries out because they'll definitely survive now rather than completely withering. So let's get that done. It feels like such a long time ago I made up this bed and it's just been sat here empty waiting for its strawberries. So it did need a little bit of a hoe, but nothing too taxing. And it was just a case of what I did before, taking out the strawberries from the ground and popping them into the bed, and hopefully I will be able to save as many of these strawberries as possible. And when the time comes next year for the fruits to come out, I'll be then putting the net over the top and protecting the little berries and enjoying lots more fruit next year. It's amazing to think that the strawberries were the first thing that were here on the plot when I arrived, and one of the first projects I worked on, making that really dodgy strawberry cage, which you can just about see in the background. They have had such a journey and it's been really fun. I've definitely put less in the second bed than the first bed. This one is way too crowded, but hopefully they will be alright. I might cut off the runners of these ones because I definitely don't need any more in this bed. I'm just so surprised that I'm getting so many strawberries. I don't know why I'm surprised. I didn't think they flowered twice in one year, but they're not as big as they were in the spring. But there's still quite a few that have come up, so perhaps if I'd actually looked after them I'd have got more. I just assumed they were done and I stopped watering them. So that might have been my bad, but yeah, they're looking good. I definitely will have strawberries next year, and there are still some in the ground. So what I might do is just transplant them and just throw them at the end of the plot somewhere. I feel like if I just put them in the end, they can just do their thing. If they survive, great. If not, doesn't really matter. I've definitely got enough. But I do still need to have some to give away to friends, so I will make sure that I have a few spare just in case. But I think I'll be alright. What I'm going to do is harvest some chive seeds and sprinkle them into this bed that I've just done, and have some chives coming up with the strawberries, which potentially will help to deter slugs and also just give the bed a little bit more interest when the strawberries aren't flowering. Add a little bit of height to the bed as well. So yeah, I want more chives around the plot. I absolutely love chives. I can't eat them all, there's far too many to eat, but they just look really cute and pretty, and the bees love them, so they have a place on the plot. Speaking of seeds, the nasturtium has certainly produced some. Because this has been so successful at ground cover, I think I'm gonna harvest these seeds and throw them around the middle and back of the plot, and they can hopefully outcompete the weeds either this year or next year. I don't know if it might be a bit late for new nasturtiums to grow, but definitely next year. So I'm just going to collect all the seeds that I can find and throw them in the ground and see if they do anything and help me out, because yeah, this has been super successful, and when I clear this I can just put this in my compost bin, so it's going to be really useful in multiple stages of its life. There are millions of seeds, there's got to be literally millions here. Oh my goodness. When I first got the plot, the very back was incredibly overgrown, and the allotment people really generously cleared it for me. So I really need to stay on top of maintaining this area, and I want to make sure that there isn't anything out of control growing here. So I had to cut back a blackberry bush that was creeping over onto my side, and then just finish off digging up all these really deep rooted mallow plants that I didn't pick up last time I weeded this area, and they are so deep. You have to dig really far down and pull with a lot of strength, and it resulted in funny moments of me just falling over pulling out these super thick roots. But I got quite a lot of them up, which is really good, and I just need to keep on top of this area. I think the sunflowers will hopefully do a really good job of holding down the weeds once they go in, but I wonder if I should put something right at the back next to the fence to stop any weeds coming up. I don't know, maybe like paving slabs or something, just to make life a little bit easier and just stop anything from creeping in and pushing against the fence or climbing up the fence and going over the neighbour's side of the fence. With most of the deep-rooted perennial weeds out, it will be a lot easier to maintain this space. The seeds I sowed in the root bed they're doing pretty well. The beetroots are definitely coming up. Some of them anyway. The ones in this row look better than this one. I think this was the Chioggia possibly, and this was the Detroit. I'm not entirely sure. These owls, nettles. These rows were carrots. I don't actually know what the carrots look like. I think it's these ones. I think these are carrots. I'm not sure though, they could be weeds. There's so many weeds that have come up. It's been really hard to keep on top of them. I can definitely weed around the beetroots, but yeah, I don't actually know what the carrots look like, so I am scared to weed those in case I get rid of carrots. But yeah, this bed is a nightmare. Utterly chaotic. I really love that the verbena have come out around this bed. They're just so pretty. The zinnia is in bud, which is exciting because we have absolutely no idea what colour that is, so I'm hoping it's going to be pink, but it could be bright red or orange, which would be less favourable. But this bed has gone crazy with weeds, so I'm going to give that a quick weed as well before I go home. But yeah, everything is looking a little chaotic and messy, but I just need to keep on top of it, and little and often is definitely the best way forward, I think, with these little projects. Something super exciting has happened. I am looking at my fire tongue beans, which look absolutely amazing. There are so many massive pods, which are all ripening and looking really cool. But there's this one, which is this the one that I thought looked like a dragon tongue because it was purple? It might be, but it's completely dried out. I'm sure it wasn't like that yesterday. And if you shake it, you can hear the little beans inside. And I'm really, really excited to open it. I don't know if it's ready, but I really want to see what's inside. Oh my god, they're so pretty! These are so cute! What the heck? Oh my gosh, I am obsessed. They look so cool. I don't know how to explain how I'm feeling right now. These beans are so cool. They're really cool. They're really pretty. They're so interesting. They've got such interesting markings on them. I grew these. Oh my goodness. What the heck? They're too pretty to eat. What do I do with them? How do I eat them? I don't know. I need instructions. I don't know what to do with them next. I'm just admiring them. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh. They're like edible gemstones. They're just so cool. They're so cool. Oh, I'm in awe. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. My first beans. Something which I'm really useless at is making sure I label my seeds and my seedlings and my plants. So I am starting as I mean to go on with ensuring that I have labelled up an envelope for my fire tongue beans so I will know exactly what they are when it comes to planting them next year. That was so exciting. I I have not known joy like that. That was really really cool. Um, I'm gonna get back to watering my beans, which is what I was doing, and got completely distracted. Yeah, what a cool thing. Beans are great. That was so much fun. The little lavenders that I got in the mail have had a repot. Only 24 plugs arrived, and I now have well over 70 individual tiny pots of lavender. So if these all grow, I'm going to have an abundance of lavender on the plot next year.
I've brought some chives, which Mum sowed. So I can pop those in with the strawberries. Um, it is so windy today. Once again, the wind is definitely picking up, and it reminds me of how it was at the beginning. It was very, very windy when I first got my plot, and I forgot how annoying it was because it makes getting good audio really difficult. Who knows if this is going to be any good, but we will do what we can, work with what we have. Oh, these smell absolutely incredible.
As I said earlier, I'm putting in chives in with the strawberries as a bit of a pest deterrent, as well as just because they look pretty. If there is a little bit of space next year, I also want to maybe sow or plant out some straw flowers in this bed because I think that will complement the strawberries really, really well.
In this bucket, I have some bulbs, which are colchicum, which are a autumn crocus. Um, these came from my nanny's garden. She said it was something else, and my mum took them and didn't really have the ability to do anything with them, so just left them outside. And they've started flowering, and my mum realised that what my nanny said they were was completely incorrect. So yeah, these are the colchicums, and mum doesn't want them in her garden, so I'm going to throw them into my soil, and they will be flowering really soon. Some of them are very, very nearly ready.
This area in front of the greenhouse has definitely become a space where if I have something that needs to go in the ground, it's probably going to end up here. While I have a general overall plan of the plot as a whole, I'm kind of letting everything just organically figure its way out, and the way I'm planting up these plants is just very intuitive. I don't know really what's going together. I don't have an overall goal at all for this space, and it's just dictated by what plants I have available at the time.
I put a little border around the bulbs because knowing me, I will forget that they're here and just walk straight over this. But it looks kind of cute. I like it. This whole area is very strange and there is no plan, but seeing it kind of growing and evolving over the days is really interesting. So, yeah, fun little project. And it's got me really excited for planting bulbs for spring. I need to get some bulbs on the plot. I need tulips and crocus and daffodils. I think that will look so, so cute. We'll just dot it around all over the place and give me some early colour when all of this is gone and no more. So yeah, cute little project.
It still baffles me that butterflies can get through the holes in this net, but they are doing it with such ease, and I really need to get a thinner mesh, but I just haven't yet. The broccolis, despite that, are doing really well. They look really healthy, they're growing really strong, and they might be a little bit crowded in there, but I'm not too concerned. The squash bed, as I now refer to it, has gone crazy, and the squash is putting out flowers, which is mad. It's definitely far too late for it. I don't think I'll get anything from it, but it's growing really well, and it's nice to see.
It's the 8th of September, and it's another beautiful day. It is very warm, very sunny, and I forgot my sunscreen, which is a terrible mistake, but never mind. um, I have raided my mum's garden um, for some forget me nots, and instead of just covering all of the ground where I want the flower meadow to be, um, I'm thinking of putting in some ground cover just to start covering it and replacing some of the cardboard. I think some patches will benefit from having some plants in the ground, so the soil will have a bit more structure, and the forget-me-nots are a really good option because they're just going to spread everywhere, and if they're in the way next year I can just dig them up, move them, doesn't really matter. So there are heaps of them around the garden, so I've just picked up a few and I'm just going to plonk them or start plonking them in the ground. I'm going to need a lot to cover that space, but I can certainly make a start. I also went to a garden centre and I couldn't resist. These are just so pretty. Um, they are a type of heather, I think, and they are the exact colour scheme that I want for my allotment plot. It's like this really bright lime green, the hot pink, the lilac, and the white in one plant, and it's just got such a cute structure as well. I just couldn't resist. And I also got some thymes which were cheap because they were past their best. So they are going to be a really good addition. They'll also help with some ground cover. And I think I might put them around the area I was working on yesterday at the front of the greenhouse. These have such a cute little flower as well, really tiny, pinky, purpley flower, very delicate, very pretty, very on brand. So yeah, the texture of this is great. I love stroking these are so fun, and the thyme smells amazing as well. Yeah. I shouldn't be allowed to go into a garden centre unsupervised.
I think using little shrubs like herbs is a really good way of adding a bit of structure to a bed, but keeping a softness to contrast with the hard right angle edges of the beds where I've used the wooden planks or the raised container. I'm hoping these plants will grow out and eventually join together, and I will have one seamless, rounded corner for this strange little planting area.
This space is so huge and kind of daunting. Um, I feel pretty overwhelmed when I look at it and take it all in one go. Um, like I just the this space has so much potential, um, and I know I can put in the work, but it does still scare me quite a lot because it is huge, and I am very small. So, as with anything, I am just going to split it up into bite-sized chunks, and I think I'm going to start with this little space here. So everything on this side of that fleecing is a little space that I can focus on. I've got quite a few little forget-me-nots that I can put in. There are so many individual plants in that bucket, so they will spread out quite a bit, and there are more at home as well, so I can bring some more next time I'm on the plot. So I can just start from the edge and then maybe just work my way across in a sort of circle and then over time it will just grow and grow. Maybe that, I mean, it's something, it's a start. Oh god, I am daunted, so daunted. Yeah, this is big. I like this side. This side is nice. This side feels under control and happy. This side feels terrifying and completely out of my control. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm gonna need more forget-me-nots. Oh my goodness. There's just so much. There's so much ground to cover. This could be cute though. I'll see how this goes with keeping down some weeds. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It's all an experiment, and as I always say, part of the process.
The whole patio area is going to look really dull very soon now that the sweet peas have finished, so I gave it a bit of a tidy up, and this seems like a really good space to put my super cute colourful heathers. I basically created this space around the plants rather than the other way around. I feel like people normally make the beds and then put the plants in them, but I did it completely backwards. And I'm actually really pleased with how it went. I had some spare soil to make it a proper bed so it's not all scraggly and the newspaper isn't showing. And it just adds a bit of an edge to the patio, whereas before I wasn't really using any walkways and I was just kind of roaming over the patio. I think adding a little border of heather just adds to its sense of place a little bit more, and it will force me to be more intentional in my movement around the space. Do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. Does it excite me? Most definitely. They are so pretty. Oh my goodness. I don't know what is going on with this area, but I'm having fun, and that is the main thing. One day this plot will look so pretty. One day. One day. As I had such a big space at the front of the bed and nothing to go in it, I just took some more of those spare strawberries from the old strawberry bed and threw them in, because anything I can put in the ground will be beneficial, because it will be one less space for weeds to take over. And here's the final product. It looks pretty cool. I quite like it. I think it will be quite a nice little space in its own right. I have been so all over the place this week. I have no idea what this video is going to turn out like. I feel like I've been jumping all over the plot. I feel like that's just been reflecting how I've been feeling in myself as well, so I guess it makes sense. But that is it for this video and this week on the plot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next allotment vlog update. Until then, stay calm and carry on growing. Bye!